Protection isn't about DNA, it's about duty. Today we're talking about enforcing a legacy of safety and why every man, father or not, needs to be a village protector against the threat of kidnapping. Stay tuned, we'll talk about it. Afternoon. So, what are we talking about today? Well, this is going to be Enforcing Legacies Part 6. The journey to 500 subs is the movement, and we're going to just get right to it. And I just need about 10 minutes of your time. So, as you heard in the beginning of the video, we as men out here, real men, need to be village protectors. We need to start taking more stake in what we believe to be our village. So I'm going to just give you a little backstory of me so that way you can understand why I'm talking like this. I have 6 grandkids by default. I have 3 stepkids. They're grown. So that's how I have the grandkids. And I have 3 nieces. Actually, I take that back. I have 4 nieces. I just had a new niece this year, or this past year, toward the end of the year. I have 4 nieces, and I have 1 nephew that just turned 1. So, granted, I'm not so present in my niece's and my nephew's life. I have 1 niece whose life is, pretty close to me, where I can, reach out and touch her and everything, and she's here. I take my job as a village protector very serious. I'm not a blood dad to anybody, but because I care and I love deep, it puts me in a very delicate place when it comes to children. Now, as you guys may know, those that's been following me through this whole YouTube journey, you would know that I've been talking very, very strongly about Hailey Buzbee. Now, as you guys may know, she passed away on the 4th. She passed away on the 4th of this month, and it didn't have to happen. She was murdered in a very brutal way. They just laid her to rest about a few days ago. She was groomed. She was solicited. She was kidnapped. And she was murdered. So when I'm telling you all this stuff about who I have in my circle, my immediate circle, as far as children, you can understand why this bothers me some. And you would forgive me if I start crying right now, or tearing up at least. So as a village protector, I need you guys to understand this. If you guys feel offended about what I'm about to tell you to those that are parents, it might actually be applying to you, because I don't understand how anybody would get mad at this. We got to do better about protecting the kids. We have to do better about protecting the kids. Now, why I say this and why I can back this up with very strong incidences besides the one I just gave you, let me just explain. Yesterday, I went to go visit my mom for Valentine's Day. I was leaving her apartment and I was sitting in my car. I was about to leave. This girl had to be no more than 4 or 5 years old, riding on a scooter. She goes in front of my car. She literally sees me and she stops. And she starts talking to me through the window. And I'm looking around, not a parent in sight. I just waved at her, hoping that wasn't just more than enough for her to just keep going. And it was enough. She kept going. I think there was a lady that was walking up, thinking that this was her mom. She stopped a little bit and looked like she said something to the lady. And the lady kind of almost like she shrugged her off. And then the little girl just kept going. And this is an apartment complex. I'm sure there was more kids running around and everything, but I don't care about that. I care about this 4 or 5-year-old girl on a scooter with no parents around, going in front of my car and stopping and interacting with a stranger. Now, I'm going to just tell you, I'm not twisted and fucked up in the head. However, there's a lot of individuals that are. Now, if it was the wrong person sitting in this car, that little girl would have been gone. Gone. Somebody would have lost their daughter yesterday. Situation number 2. I was doing a GoPuff delivery. Had to have been about 10 o'clock at night. I had to park my car in the middle of the street. The streets were crowded. People parked along their houses. So I had to park in the middle of the street. Oh well. The guy was outside. He, flagged me down and everything. So I pulled right there in the middle of the street. Now, I didn't see this person. I'm talking about the person I'm about to explain to you. I just get out. I just start getting the deliveries ready. Little girl, probably about the same age I just gave you another girl. 4 or 5 years old. Runs around the car. And I'm looking at her. And I'm looking at the dad. He's just getting his money, or not his money, but getting his ID out. And she just dancing in front of me and everything. And I'm like, yo, homeboy. I didn't say this, but I wanted to say it out of the goodness of my heart to protect his potential loss But I wanted to tell him, if you don't come get this little girl and tell her to go in the house and go to bed, or go lock herself in a room somewhere and get her out the middle of this damn street, or get her away from me. Again, he didn't know who I was. All he knew, I was delivering an order, but that don't matter. That could have been some twisted fuck that still could have grabbed your daughter. Fuck the order. Drop the order in the middle of the street, grab her, and be gone. All he was like, oh, get back. Go in the house. Or no, he didn't even say that. He just said, get back.